Buttons and bows and pantyhose. I'm your host, Alexander Rodriguez, here for On the Rocks radio show, where celebrities and cocktails mix. Tonight, we have such a big show. We have the blonde bombshell herself, star of stage and screen, Jenn Lyon from TNT's Claws, Justified, and she was on Broadway with plays by Tom Stoppard and Larry David. Curb your enthusiasm. We have the voices performing Out at the Fair at San Diego County Fair this weekend. We have country singer Kasey Lansdale here, pop singer Trevor Page, who knows where he is, he's not here yet, and rapper Taylor Olson premiering his new single, Manipulate. Was that good? That was good and deep, right? With my very special guest co-host, filmmaker and founder of Tello Films, Kristen Baker, and the co-founder of Hillcrest Social, and the producer of Out at the Fair, Will Z. That's how I'm going to do. I'm not going to try to pronounce your last name. Girl, I'm prided out already. So raise a glass and let the games begin.
Thank you for being
Boulevard.
Life is a banquet, and most poor suckers are starving to death.
I'd like to propose a toast.
This is On the Rocks with Alexander, coming at you from Sunset Gower Studios in the heart of Hollywood, where I drink with your favorite celebrities and we talk about fashion, entertainment, pop culture, reality TV, and that's about it. So pop a cork, pour a glass, lean back, and enjoy On the Rocks every Tuesday at 7 p.m. on Universal Broadcasting Network.
Fasten your seatbelts. It's going to be a bumpy night.
Oh, my Lord, it's going to be a bumpy night. We got to get right in tonight. We have such a big show tonight. So much goodness tonight that I'm literally sweating off my vodka calories as I'm speaking. Like, it's hot in here, right? Oh, God. Speaking of vodka escaping in caloric form, thank you to our sober listeners for tuning in. We love you so much. Thank you for holding our hair back and driving us home. If drunk texting was a sport, I'd be an Olympian. Wah, wah. Okay, hello to our listeners across the nation on iHeartRadio, Universal Broadcasting Network, Player FM, Stitcher, TuneIn, Satchel, iTunes, Google Play, and of course we are Facebook Live on Hillcrest Social in San Diego, True FM in Ohio, and nationally on Bear World Magazine. Rawr! Check out my Bear World Magazine weekly celebrity interviews, movie reviews, and movie news. This week on Movie News Monday, I talked about Helen Bonham Carter is going to be the very first Bond girl villain. Girls are kicking ass everywhere.
Yeah.
She's
Bond
so
girl
weird.
villain.
I love
yeah.
her.
So she was in Fight Club, right? How awesome is she going to be?
Wait, there's never been a Bond girl villain before?
No. Well,
Wait, Bond girl,
That's not
Bond-
true because there
a
was
villain.
one. Yeah.
I mean, we're not talking about like somebody who's
Well,
like a
she-
double crosser, but like a villain.
Okay. I was
Like a
gonna say,
main villain.
Yes.
who was the one
Okay.
who like
think
could
I'm
kill
missing
people
Impossible,
like between her thighs? Do you remember that?
I want to
one?
say Halle
My-
Berry.
The one girlfriend
No,
I had
what-
in high school? What? No. She crushed my sexuality is what she crushed. Also, Top Gun 2 started filming.
San Diego.
Is nobody excited
What-
about this?
No.
No.
Chris is
Is
looking
that
like
with Tom Cruise? Is he-
Yeah,
is
so
he-
Tom
is he
Cruise is in
back?
it. He's in it.
Okay.
Val Kilmer's nowhere to be found except at the Arby's right here on Sunset.
I don't know what happened.
He got so weird. He got really husky. He's going to be a Bear World magazine celeb. one of
Bear
these
the
days. Yes. And in new exciting news, Angelina Jolie just got cast in Come Away, which is a fantasy movie. It's a prequel to the Peter Pan and Alice in Wonderland story.
Sounds like a gay porn.
How does that even work, right?
I was just gonna say, how does that work? A prequel to the Alice in Wonderland.
They never even met.
I know.
It's maybe it's a Tello Films lesbian story between Wendy and Alice.
Oh, I would like that. That sounds amazing.
Yes, even I would watch
Angelina.
that.
Yeah. Yes.
Yes.
Sold.
For our audio listeners, you can check out our video stream on Facebook, YouTube, and of course we are on the Hillcrest Social app with all of our On the Rocks videos streaming for free. Download the app for iPhone and Android today. They have tons of concert giveaways, product giveaways, and lots of fun stuff, and you can talk to each other. So check it out. Download it for free. My mom, Mama Rose, she's actually visiting the studio. She's also in the chat room on ubnradio.com and on Facebook. Ask her your questions, and she'll interrupt me and demand answers. Keep her busy because she's next to the vodka, and she'll start drunk tweeting, and I don't need to have my show canceled. Ambien, hello to our engineer, Kurt. Oh, Kurt.
Hey, how's it going?
Oh, hey, Kurt. This is why I start the show with Kurt's pun, because he like calms everything down. He's like, hey,
There's a
what's
sense
up?
of calm in the room.
Right, we could have an earthquake, and he would still be, hey. I guess we should leave.
Probably. I mean, I try not to get it.
All right, Kurt, you're so punny. Give us your pun.
Why did the blind man fall in the well? Fall in a well, or the well?
You guys, it's usually pretty easy.
Yeah,
Because he...
Couldn't see.
because he couldn't see that well.
Jeez.
You're so punny, Kurt. God, straight people entertainment. What next? Like us on Twitter and Instagram at On The Rocks On Air. Facebook, On The Rocks Radio Show. Subscribe to us on YouTube, like I said. Find us on the web, ontherocksradioshow.com. Send me an email. Book me for a wedding, funeral, quinceañera, bris. I don't care. I will show up. Coming up on the show, we have the reschedule of Tommy Wiseau and Greg Sestero from The Room / Disaster Artist, soap opera hunk Sean Kerrigan. We also have Real Housewife of OC, Gretchen Rossi is coming in. We have the host of Gossip Girl and Mortified podcast, horror novelist Joe Lansdale. Familiar last name. And we have more surprises on the way coming up. Want to be part of On the Rocks on the Road? We are coming for you this summer. We are hosting it out at the fair at California State Fair at Sacramento, San Diego County Fair, New Mexico State Fair in Albuquerque. Make your travel plans. Come say hi. We kick off June 9th at the Coors Stage, San Diego, which is this Saturday. Can you believe it?
4 days.
And all y'all are performing.
Sweaty palms.
Sweaty palms. Well, that's not all. That's sweaty.
Yeah.
Sacramento, July 20th, and New Mexico, September 9th. For more information, check out outatthefair.com. Let me introduce my besties for the night. So proud of these movers and shakers in the LGBT community here to celebrate Pride Month. I also do a lot of moving and shaking. It is not on purpose like with you guys. Skinny bitches. Will Z. In 2018, WZ Productions won the 2018 Barham Award from the Western Fair Association for their festival Out at the Fair. What is Out at the Fair? Out at the Fair is the official LGBTQ day at the San Diego County Fair. And 2018, this will be your 8th annual event.
Yep.
No wonder you don't have any hair.
That's true.
It is true. It's stress.
Yep.
I'm stressed just sitting next to you.
Yep.
He's also the founder of Hillcrest Social. Of course, we love Hillcrest Social. It's a social media app that promotes LGBTQ and gay-friendly business throughout San Diego County. They feature events, photo feeds, venues, DJs, local talent, and live chat for people to connect. In its 2 short years, it has generated over 14,000 downloads and secured sponsorships from the Del Mar Fairgrounds, House of Blues, Riches San Diego, and more. Do you know how much money I spend at Riches San Diego? They should sponsor you.
I can only imagine.
That's like half my paycheck. Paycheck from here.
I'm just thanking you.
My liver does not thank you. He also launched an application called DJ Will Z Mobile. I thought it was like a new grinder, but it's not.
No. That was the first app way back when.
Oh,
when
really?
they were new. Yep.
Oh.
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
But this app is he's the first DJ in the region with this application, and it's available in all markets. And all your apps can be found for free, by the way. You're just giving back to the community left and right.
Yep.
He won 40 Under 40 by San Diego Metro Magazine for his contributions to San Diego County. Welcome, Will Z.
Woo!
Thank you.
Also joining me to help interview these crazy kids, Kristen Baker. I keep running into you. You don't even live here. And I run into you more than my actual friends. I mean, not that we're not actual friends, but you know what I mean? That sounded weird. Dropping the shade already.
Wow, got the shade happening. All
That sounded
right.
weird. I didn't mean that at all.
Yeah.
I meant
More than
like...
people
in
you
your
intend to
local
run into.
Yes.
Can't undo that.
Yes. Like, Trevor, we've been friends for, 12 years now, and I see you once a year.
Hello again. I know.
When you show up
It's
on
been
time.
Like 5. Yeah. Well, now we can start the show. So.
Yes. Oh, girl. But I see you everywhere. I saw you at the Out Web Fest. I saw you at Stan Zimmerman's show. I've seen you. You're filming and you're talking and you're just all over the place.
I'm trying.
And so, as a surprise, you were able to join us today.
I know. How exciting is this?
And you're perfect for what's happening today too.
I mean, yes.
Yes. I always used to call you Kristen Tella, by the way.
I know a lot of people do that. It's
because your
okay.
Instagram is
My
Kristen
Instagram
Tello.
and my Twitter is Kristen.
Yeah.
Kristen Tello.
So I kept referring to you as Kristen Tello, and you're so nice. I don't know how you're so nice in this industry, but you never corrected me. You're you just kind of give a little twitch. You're like, Kristen Baker.
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
how can I not remember Baker?
I know.
Who is Kristen
It's all
Baker? Yes. She is an award-winning director and Emmy-nominated producer. She co-founded Tello Films 10 years ago out of a passion to provide modern and relevant lesbian-focused stories for the underserved lesbian community. What, they didn't have a film company at Home Depot?
Nope.
Not
yet.
With 15 amazing original Tello-produced projects under her belt and just as many in various levels of pre- and post-production, she's determined to provide the lesbian community with the quality entertainment that they deserve and the stories that they crave. And we all know how much bad LGBTQ content is out there. Not Tello Films. She also loves talking about TV, movies, audience growth, digital entrepreneurship, and more. She speaks all over the nation. She's a member of the Producers Guild of America and a member of the TV Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences. She has rubbed elbows, maybe more, with every celebrity in Hollywood.
That's not true.
Okay. You're a good girl.
I am a good girl.
Okay. Her projects have continually been a source of great guests for this show, so we love telefilms, including Barry Bostwick, Elizabeth Keener, Mindy Sterling, Olivia D'Abo, and, of course, Parv Chena. Parv is coming back in a couple of weeks. Yeah,
good.
We love telefilms. So we are waiting. Jenn Lyon was on set today. Jenn Lyon, of course, is from Claws, so whenever she calls in, our Skype is not working, so she's going to call in. So whenever that happens, we're going to talk to her. Then we have some live performances today, including a premiere of Taylor Olson's Manipulate. Dun, 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 dun. And it's just a glimpse of what you're going to get Saturday all day at the fair. Okay, so I want to talk to you guys. It's Pride Month, right? And you guys both kind of produce LGBTQ events. Chris and I, you have a booth at Dinah Shore, and you're constantly putting together.
We need to talk.
Okay,
yeah.
Let's chat.
Yeah.
I've been waiting for my swag that seems to be abundant on this side of the room.
I want
That
some.
is not abundant on this side of the
But
room.
We should have talked
I love how, like,
beforehand.
how you guys
That's
are,
all
like,
I'm gonna
coordinated.
like.
It's perfect.
That's all I'm gonna
That's
say
not all how
right
to
now.
Boom, boom, boom. No, but where's all my... I'm the MC on Saturday. I don't even get it.
Yeah.
No, because the mascot is literally a unicorn. And
Yeah,
Trevor,
it's a dabbing
you'll love
unicorn.
this. It's a dabbing
obsessed
unicorn.
That's
Unicorn.
amazing.
That's what the mascot is. It's a dabbing
That's
unicorn.
Yeah, and
It's
it
a
has
dabbing
the
unicorn.
out at the fair logo on its wrist, and then it has like the name on its paw.
I'm a size
That's really
medium.
Wait, do unicorns
I know. I'm
have...
like, and then back to the swag portion of the show.
He's good. Did you see how he just glanced right
He
over there?
did, and I'm not gonna let that shit go the whole show. Just so we're clear,
No,
We all expect our T-shirt.
Yes.
That's easy. We can do that.
I will
I
recognize
I
my
want that
mailing
hat in
address.
black.
Yeah. Oh, mine has to be all in black. I don't want any white shirt. No.
This year we actually got pink shirts too.
Oh, you did?
Yep.
Girl.
I know. We're getting
Girl.
classy.
Yeah, it's getting classy. But is it hard to produce your LGBT events in the straight world? Because I know you deal with venues and you guys have a lot of presence in some mainstream arenas where it's not,
We don't. He does. Tello doesn't.
Yeah, but
We're
you
not
deal with
mainstream. We're super gay, and like I just play with the gay people.
girl.
I mean, there's a couple of straight people who come on and act and shit, but
Like Barry Bostwick?
like Barry Bostwick,
I was
Mindy,
hoping he was gonna come out.
Olivia, they're all straight. They'll
Let's be
come
honest.
and
Mindy
play
Sterling
with
is
us.
3 glasses of wine away from whatever you'd like.
She had a lot of fun at Dinah last
Oh,
year.
she
That's all
sure
I'll
did.
say about that.
I came to see you guys for like
That's
5 seconds.
right, that's
Everybody
right.
was wasted
I saw
by the
you for
time.
like 2 seconds.
Because
That's
everybody
right.
was, I was like, oh, I'm here. And they're like,
That's true. We're all
Yeah.
like, what?
and like, there's a
Yeah.
butch lesbian here. No, it's just me.
Right.
Just me. But did you, especially dealing with the county fair, which is so...
I feel like they kind of already had a perception of, the LGBTQ community, especially with Pride. So we try to, really focus on the family-friendly portion of it.
I have gotten family-friendly in quotes in about 40 emails from you.
Same.
Yep.
Yes. I'm like, I sleep with fathers. Is that family-friendly?
I think I have
If you
like
think
3
you
of
get
those.
40, you should only imagine how many I get. But
I can't even imagine.
Yeah. But no, I mean, we're definitely opening eyes in an industry that, we've always been there, but now we all get a voice. So it's kind of cool. Like, we've definitely started to open up eyes.
Do you have a butter unicorn?
A butter unicorn?
Yeah, like at the fair, like in Illinois.
it like a made out
of butter?
There's like
Oh.
a butter cow
I
and
thought it was a
butter
unicorn with like a really
chicken.
ugly face.
That's a good
No,
idea.
I could see that, but like you need a butter
Butter
unicorn, like a
unicorn.
like a unicorn
We need
made
someone
out
to
of
make
butter.
us a butter unicorn.
And what you have to do is you have to
Am I
freeze
turned
it.
on or
It's
not?
like a mule face
Yes,
and then the unicorn body.
Okay.
Oh, God. And
That
by
would
the end,
be
it looks like
amazing.
Melania. Help me.
Yeah, no, but like they have them all in freezers.
I've seen them
this
at the
is like
fairs.
a
Yeah.
right?
Freezer for
okay.
butter?
This feels
Yeah,
like
like
my
butter
freezer
is
at
all-
home.
it can't melt, and the people like can't melt. So people like walk through like the butter section, and they have all these like replicas of things made of butter.
Yep.
You have not lived until you have seen
They
it.
made like
butter.
a
He's
whole
from the Bay
movie
Area.
about this, though.
I
It's
know.
real with
Yeah,
like,
like
Jennifer,
butter,
Jennifer
like,
Garner.
yep.
Was that what it's called? Butter or something
don't know,
like
but
that?
yeah, I
Oh,
It's
that's
a real
remember.
thing. Yeah,
right.
yeah.
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
No, Taylor's from the Bay Area, so everything's
Okay,
made out of like
so this
recycled
is-
products.
Yeah.
This unicorn
is my
is
realm.
from
I'm
dead
from the
dolphins
South.
and Coke
I
cans.
think it is real. And I feel like
Feel
they
very
tour.
attacked.
I feel they put them on
Bay
their
Area.
truck and they tour from like fair to state fair to state fair. But like you guys need
A butter tour? I'll take you a tour of my butter tour.
A butter.
Oh, a little dabble to you.
I'm just being helpful. I mean, you need a butter unicorn.
You need her on this organizing committee.
I'm just going to throw you ideas
Butter.
when you go do it.
No,
Write it
I
down,
like
sweetie.
it.
Write it down.
I
Butter.
feel, see, they're not writing anything down, and they're not going to get.
like,
I don't
Sure.
think they.
And
they're
They're
not
not
writing
writing
our
They're
shirts
going to
and hats
remember.
either.
They're going to remember.
He's like,
I
could it be
promise.
Crisco?
A bucket of Crisco.
Got one. But Kristen, in dealing with the straight world, LGBT entertainment has really changed over the years. We have a lot more quote unquote mainstream attention to like Call Me by Your Name, Love, Simon. You as an LGBT filmmaker, is that helping produced and acted and directed by LGBT entertainment, or is it actually shoving us more aside for big A-list straight people to?
Yeah, I kind of. Yeah, I mean, all of those movies are. I think for me, the interesting thing is, at least the last two big lesbian, and I'm speaking specifically of lesbian movies that came out, which was Carol and Disobedience, were both directed by men, and so I'm trying to sort of like go like, hey, how about, even if it's a straight woman at this point, like, how about, why not a lesbian directing a lesbian project? Like, wouldn't that be, that's mainstream, that gets the dollars behind it. And so, I think I would really like to see something like that. In fact, I was meeting, literally today, I had lunch with someone who has been doing LGBT distribution for years, and we were talking about the changing economy and how are these DVDs are gone, and that used to be a huge moneymaker for LGBT movies, and so this whole big piece of the money pie where you could really target people and fund your projects is gone, and so it's like figuring what that is and what that looks like, and so I mean, I think it was funny. I try and go every year to the Cannes Film Festival, and this past year I was meeting with some distributors, and then I started to talk with, I have a couple projects that I have, and it was funny, like everyone
Just
wants,
a couple, please,
well,
girl.
just me, but like, and it was funny how like so many people were like, we really want women empowerment. I mean, not lesbian, but we want like women empowerment, and I was like, okay, well, so it's really interesting that there's a big push for women stuff, like women writers and women-led projects, not quite lesbian yet. So, I think I'm still waiting on our Love, Simon. Like, I think that was such a great movie, so fantastic, well written and well acted, and it was just so sweet and lovely. And so I think I would like to see the lesbian version of that.
Why do you think? Because we had G. Strangeway on the show last week, and she made Nunez and her comic or her graphic novel Red as Blue, and she does so much work, and it's so hard to just get it seen, like you said. And also your thing about the DVDs, and that's the same with musicians. You don't have CDs to
exactly
pass
what
out
I was
anymore.
Yeah, you guys are changing too. Like, and Spotify's paying shit for
Right.
We can cuss, right?
Don't get me.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Don't get me started. on
Yeah, I mean, like your digital distribution model's fucked right now for artists too.
Family friendly, Kristen.
I'm not at a state fair.
I'm trying to practice for Saturday, okay? So I'm trying not to cuss right now. And you send Spotify, and I literally want to say the F word. So
I know. Every one of us, like, our buttholes just.
But it's so funny because you need that logo up on your thing.
Yeah.
But it's not like before where if you saw a CD with a great cover, you're like, I'm going to give it a listen. If somebody sends me, and we get so many emails for new musicians, hey, can we be on the show? And, it's a link. I can't tell anything from a link, even from their wordy, like, EPK. It's so difficult to engage on an easy basis. CDs used to be fun to give it a listen, and you could fast forward and whatever. But even to click on a link that's given to you and then stream through, why is that so difficult?
It feels so less personal.
That's exactly
That's
it.
right.
Yes.
Wait, there's something, that physical thing, but like,
It's like how you connect with your favorite artist. It's like, oh yeah, I'm clicking another link.
Well, and how many of us got the liner notes and read, especially you read, who played on this, who wrote this, where was this recorded, who is the producer, like all of that stuff endeared you even more, and you felt more connected, or at least I did. That was my experience. You get the CD or the album, whatever the tangible thing was, and I want to know every person, because then I want to go, oh, I love the way that guitar sounds. Oh, they played on my favorite record over here, and that's the connection that you have that we don't have anymore. Now it's like, here's the link, click it, wait for it to load. Beep, 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 beep.
That's interesting. And again, with that personal touch, when somebody gives me a CD, that took work to not only record it, but then to package it, to create the packaging.
There was thought.
And
even
there's
the photos
money.
and the art behind it. It's, you know, and then
Yeah.
you're waiting to get it, you know, put together. You're waiting to get the thing mastered. You're waiting to get everything. It's quite the ordeal once the artist is done. Even like just you finish the music, then a year later they've mastered it and put everything together.
Well, we're going to talk more about all of this. We have Jenn Lyon. Jenn Lyon is on the line. Can we answer the phone? Miss Jenn Lyon. Hello? Oh my God, I see you. Oh my God, you look like a ghost. Girl, is this Blair Witch Project? Kurt, I can't hear her. Can you hear us?
I hear something.
Yeah.
Yeah, here's something.
Hold on for 1 second. We're getting the volume very low. Hold on for 1 second.
There's lots of clicking happening.
Yeah. Yes.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah! Woo! Oh my Lord! So we're gonna get right to you because I know you. You know you're working. You have to be on set tomorrow, and you are a foxy lady.
Thank you.
Oh my God! Just to hear your voice. I'm obsessed with Jenn Lyon, and you know you're not supposed to gush over celebrities because it's so unprofessional. But who cares? Who cares? I want to be Jenn Lyon for Halloween. Like I want my costume to be Jenn Lyon.
Listen, you just need sort of like a double pair of Spanx, a real fat ass. And
Oh, got it!
Yes.
Girl, I'm there.
I'm pretty sure it's in his backpack.
Yeah, I'm wearing a few of the Spanx. Boop, one just popped. Jenn Lyon, I'm going to officially introduce you to our listeners. Jenn Lyon, born and raised in North Carolina as the daughter of a preacher man.
That's right.
Yes, preach. She is an award-winning stage actress who recently made the leap to film and television work. Her theater highlights include appearing on Broadway, you guys, in the American premiere of Tom Stoppard's 11-time Tony-winning The Coast of Utopia trilogy. Also, Larry David's hit comedy, Fish in the Dark, and her off-Broadway credits include A.R. Gurney's The Wayside Motor Inn, which won the Drama Desk Ensemble Award, the premiere of Kenneth Lonergan's Hold On to Me, Darlin', at the Atlantic Theater, which was named one of the best plays of 2016 by New York Times. She has shared both stage and screen time with Tim Oliphant. Get it, girl? He's so hot.
Yeah.
And
and those are his real teeth. Can you believe?
The question everyone wanted to know.
Yes.
Right?
Well, sometimes
like, everybody in Hollywood has veneers, but I have looked at those. I have stared upon those teeth for hours on end, and that's the real thing. And even his high school yearbook picture, same teeth. I was like, Timothy Oliphant, you are he's lupine.
Oh my God, he's so hot. Are you stalking him? Why do you have his yearbook?
Oh no, when we were doing the play together, like the other girl that was in the play with me, we just like couldn't figure it out, and so we were just like looking up pictures of him, and finally we were like, Timothy, show us pictures of you as a child, show us teens, we got to figure out about these teeth. And he was like, look, and he showed us his yearbook, and he was like, same teeth.
I love it. Well, I want to see pictures of him, but they're not from high school. You also shared seasons 3 and 4 with him in FX's Justified. Jenn also starred opposite George Lopez and Danny Trejo in the sitcom St. George. Other television appearances include Army Wives, Suburgatory, Louie, and Crashing.
God, you make me feel so accomplished.
You are. Like, I'm telling you, I'm obsessed. I'm like, this girl does everything. Her film credits also include Phil Spector with Al Pacino and Helen Mirren, Hello, and the independent films Flower Shop and Lemon. And most recently, she appeared in feature film Blaze, directed by Ethan Hawke, another hottie, which premiered at Sundance, by the way. And this weekend, Sunday, I know we're all going to be, season 2 of TNT's Girls Kick-Ass Dramedy, Claws, premieres. Woo! Girl, and if you haven't seen Claws, you need to get your nails did and binge watch season 1.
Oh my God, it's amazing.
So,
exactly right.
What is Claws? It's a midnight, dark, wickedly funny meditation on female badness set in a South Florida nail salon. They get wrapped up in drugs, murder, money laundering. I like to call it Steel Magnolias on guns.
Yeah. Oh, that's a great way to say. I think Carrie said something like, "If Orange is the New Black, had sex with weeds."
No, had sex with Breaking Bad while Weeds was watching.
Yes.
That was perfect.
In fact, that was just posted on the Instagram. So go to Claws TNT Instagram and that little funny video, and you, my dear, also on it as well. Also,
oh great.
Yeah. Oh, it's a great little clip. Go to Instagram and see it. I've already retweeted it. I've already reshared it because I love it. Jenn is also writer, producer, co-founder of internet sketch group Point Back. You have to say it just like that, which has produced sketches with more than 100 million views to date. They have been written for and been seen on MTV, IFC, G4, CBS, and CNN. And I binge-watched all of the clips today.
Oh, no.
Yes.
I really brought shame on my family.
On the preacher. Welcome to the show, Jenn Lyon.
Yay. Also, since we're giving out shout-outs to co-stars, Carrie, I'm a huge Carrie Preston fan from Claus. She's amazing.
Well, and
me too. I'm so we're all crazy. Karuchi's in the front seat right now. I'm sitting right behind her and talking so loud.
Are you kidding?
She's just done with me today.
Oh my God! Hey, girl! That is so crazy. So the question we have is, the ensemble is unbelievable. It's literally all my favorite actors and personalities in one show: Niecy Nash, Carrie Preston, Judy Reyes, Karuchi Tran, Harold Perrineau. Tell me how you guys built such an unbelievably realistic chemistry. You guys play the ensemble so well. Everybody has their moment.
I don't even know. We just liked each other, man, and we developed, like, everybody is what's interesting about them is that nobody is sort of like a pretentious diva. Everybody is funny, weird, will tell you about whatever bodily function is happening at any given moment. So like we just get along like gangbusters. And also everybody's like this kick-ass actress, and so you'll be watching somebody else, like when it's their coverage and they get done, and we're all just like, oh my God, that was so good. Like, we just really dig each other's personalities and talents, and it's so boring. I hate it when I hear other actors be like, and we just get along.
We love each other so much.
Actually, what's happening.
But, that's so good to hear, because, the media loves, especially for women-driven projects, to say, oh, there was this cat fight. I mean, we heard it on Desperate Housewives, Sex and the City. What we get from you girls is you guys are, like, at the beach together. You guys are hanging out together. Yeah. You guys having pajama parties together.
That's right. We just play and play.
Oh, you guys are so lucky.
I mean, we were just on set tonight. We were laughing so hard, and we had this crazy storm today, so we had these rain delays, and you just spend these copious amounts of time together, and you just love each other like family. And, like, you might have a bad day, but everybody's going to bust your balls about it and be like, you need to fix your face. It becomes like a little sisterhood.
Well, I love that. So a question I got over and over is, where do you guys film, and how long is the shoot for?
Well, we filmed in New Orleans and also in Florida. But we're in New Orleans. Karuchi, how long have we been here? Since January? Oh, we've been here since the end of January.
What?
So
that's a long time.
It takes about 6 months to shoot 10 episodes, because they're pretty cinematic. They're hour-longs.
Dang.
And it takes a lot. And also, it takes a lot of makeup and hair to make Karuchi look like anything. So that's half our day.
No, girl, I saw that picture at the beach where you guys just came out of the water, and you put a picture next to her, and you're like, yes, and you're like, this is me and this is her. It's like, I woke up like this. No, she did.
She does. She does. And we try to find her flaws the same way we try to find about Timothy Olyphant's teeth. Like, she's so perfect and sweet and nice. I'm just like, I'm gonna find out something awful about you. That's true.
So you Powerhouse Girls, we were just having this conversation about women in entertainment. You have been in so many aspects of the entertainment industry, from television, film, and especially on stage. Are women's parts getting better? How has your own personal experience as a woman in the industry changed over the years?
Well, I hope they're getting better. You think they might be getting better, and then you see a statistic like, 2 out of the 90 plays that premiered on Broadway last year were directed by a woman, or were written by a woman or produced by a woman, and you're like, God, we got to get these fucking numbers up. Numbers up. And, but there's all these great initiatives like 50/50 in 2020 that Jill Soloway started, or Time's Up, that I'm a part of, and the girls here are a part of, that are committed to real representation in the world and making what you see on screen look like what you see in real life. And I think that's really important. And when I started out, I thought I was just going to be a stage actress, and I was comfortable doing that. And I couldn't really get arrested on film and TV because I was a bigger girl. And so I was like, well, let me just see how small one should get. Bye, Karuchi. Bye, Tramika. Love you.
Bye, Karuchi. Bye.
Love ya.
Tell her to call me.
And I was like, well, just how small do I need to get to be on the TV? And the answer was like extraordinarily small. And I was very sick, but I'd never been more rewarded in my life. Like, the smaller I got, the less space I took up, the more people wanted me for things. And that's a very
Oh.
Get her back, Kurt.
I
Get her
think
back.
she's gone.
Cliffhanger.
I know.
Dun, dun, season 2
Next
on
week's
Sunday,
episode.
9 p.m. TNT. That was Karuchi Tran she was talking about, by the way. They're just riding along in my automobile.
Just to fill the space.
Yeah.
I don't think some people realize that actually theater also has a disparity of women, just like television does. The director of Fun Home, which is a female director, was the first female director to win a Tony. And that was in 2000.
Are you kidding?
Yes.
I didn't know that.
Yes. And it's that's what I said the same thing. I was like, are you fucking kidding me? So she's right. I mean, there's not a lot of, not just theater directors that are women on the Broadway, but when you even go up to the awards portion of it, it's...
Well, and I've known women have kicked ass, raised by a single mom, doing her best to do her best. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Hear me?
Yes, there you are,
Hey-o.
girl.
Where did I go?
Honey, I say that every Friday night.
Yeah, for real.
But I'm glad you brought that up because some of the emails we got were from young actresses, and you are very open about your body positivity and some of the issues you've gone through yourself with body image, and that's what we love about Claws so much. There's so much diversity.
You heard me say that I just gave a real diatribe about it. But
You said that the smaller you were, the less space you took up, the more people wanted you, and that message, and then you dropped.
Yes, and so that message, I think, is seductive for women and teaches them that the only currency they can trade in is their sexuality when there's so much more to offer. And that I think that tide is changing. I hope it's changing, but we have to be brave enough to be whatever size we are and let other people make up their minds about us,
Well, and that's what I was saying about Claws celebrates diversity so much from every single type is represented, and you guys are all sexy as hell, and I think it's so great. We've all had body issues, we've all been commented on, especially with social media being what it is.
Oh, sure.
Anybody can send you a message and then just back away. It's like, girl, do you have a mirror? Because
I know that shit is brutal though. People slide into my DMs and they just say whatever they want about me, and sometimes it's sort of just sort of observations. It'll be thick white mom. And I'm like, okay. And other times they'll be like, you got such a pretty face. If you lost 50 pounds, you'd be a movie star. And I'm just like, boy, how come whatever his name, I don't want to put anybody on blast.
Yeah.
We have it memorized because those things hurt my feelings, even though I wish I was, less, I almost said less penetrable, but I'm just...
That's season 3.
That's season 3, absolutely. But you know what I mean? It hurts your feelings, and then you're like, well, why am I letting this in at all?
That's just the nature. We put ourselves out there, and then we're gonna get some kickback because that's just the industry.
And also the anonymity of the internet makes everybody's got an
Everyone's
opinion,
brave behind a keyboard.
Well, and Jenn, you've had this strength to you. 3 days after you graduated, you left for New York City. Who does that?
I think a lot of people do that, maybe, or people do it without graduating. I had a BFA. I had something under my belt, that I felt like I've got a sort of a craft that I can hang on to. Not to sound pretentious, but I do think it's a craft. I don't think it's mystical. I think it's like a trade, and you learn technique and you learn how to do it, and hopefully it serves you well. But it's also luck, man. I have so many friends that are super talented and have not been able to have a career in the theater and film and TV. And then I have some people I know that are talent free, and they are just millionaires.
Oh my God! Welcome to the LGBT entertainment community. We're all Instagram stars somewhere.
Yeah,
that's so funny.
I have a question. When you moved to New York and were starting out in the industry and auditioning, what was your I need to pay my rent job?
Oh, so many. Well,
yeah.
I worked in an ice cream shop for a long time because they would let me leave whenever I booked a regional theater job. I worked in an ice cream shop. I worked in many grocery stores.
Oh.
I didn't love being a waitress as much because I felt like you were sort of at the mercy of the table, and people will come to dinner to get divorced and it'll just be bad for you. But if you work somewhere, I worked at a bakery, and nobody really comes to get bread very mad. People don't come to get ice cream after a funeral. Like, I'm dealing with people on a more even keel.
That's funny, yeah.
Yeah,
I feel
and
like
at
bread
grocery
is like a
store, too,
happy.
You can take
I
food
love
home.
carbs.
So,
I'm
like,
going to
you
get
don't gotta
bread.
pay for food because you can get all the sell-by-date shit for yourself.
Got perks.
Sell by day ice cream. Yeah, yes.
Yeah, totally. And everybody was like, "You'll get so tired of eating ice cream. You'll get real tired of it after a few weeks." And I sure did eat it for years, just every day.
Oh, yeah. No. Yeah. So, Jen, your stage work, the projects you've been in, I mean, a debut of a Tom Stoppard play, and then also working with Larry David, the focus on these kind of plays, how did you approach it as an actress, and how much of your nerves played a part, even press previews opening night?
I think back when I did the Coast of Utopia as my first Broadway show, and I had done a lot of regional work before that and off Broadway, and so I was super nervous, but I was in my early 20s, maybe I was like 26 or something, and I'm like, I wasn't really old enough to realize that my body just felt invincible, and like I'll get nervous and my heart will start beating fast, and I'm just like Red Fox, like clasping my chest. I'm like, I'm coming. But I feel like something bad's gonna happen with my body. But before I was guileless and I didn't have those nerves, But as I got older, I got more nervous. I don't even know what that means.
That's interesting. Yeah. Maybe because like you learned that much more.
You're
of
more
the
aware of what
yes.
you have to lose. You're more aware of what you have to gain. That makes sense.
All right, I got.
Yeah, maybe that's it. Yeah.
So the second most emailed question I got from fans is, how long does it take for you to get your nails done for Claws?
Well, when we first did the pilot, we all had full sets of acrylics. And so the changeover between styles would take hours.
Yeah.
But now we use press-ons because you might have to do a different episode. You might have to do like 3 different episodes in a day, like scenes from all these different ones. You don't shoot concurrently. And so they're just press-ons. So it really doesn't take that long at all. But I will tell you that being out in the world with just like nubbins, everybody recognizes you, like it makes you feel awful. So as soon as I get back to New York, I'm gonna get a full set.
Yeah. And it was so funny. Ever since watching Claws, I now pay attention to the competitions that you guys covered towards the end of season 1, where there's like these mad competitions.
I know.
And people are putting like hanging fruit and like all this stuff on nails. Girl,
I know.
Wow.
I know, and gross ones. I just saw some that were like. There were like noses, there was dicks, there was like so many weird things. I was like, oh hell.
Yeah, I saw the one with the hair, and then one you could actually put your own face with the hair, and like it's so weird.
It's so weird, but it's like little miniature art pieces, you know, on every finger.
So Jen, just real fast, I know you did Oklahoma in high school. I did Oklahoma in high school. Are there any musical theater projects coming up?
Gosh, I just got offered a new To Kill a Mockingbird. That it's not going to be a straight musical, but it has a book and then it has songs in it. It's not. But it's not,
Yeah.
They wouldn't. They'd call it like a play with music.
Right.
So I got to listen to those songs and see what's up with that. And who'd you play in Oklahoma?
No, I really mean Oklahoma. It was a gay parody. No, I was too Latino for Oklahoma. I got to move the set pieces, but I wasn't Carousel.
You were?
Yeah, I was on the clam bake.
Beautiful musical. Ugh.
It is one of my
so
favorites.
hurtful and dated in a terrible way.
I know, right? You get to it, you're like, wow, this is really misogynistic.
Yeah.
Okay, real fast, because I know you need to get rest. You guys need to film tomorrow. This is a silly question, but I got it from all my homo friends. We have to talk about Jack, who plays Roller. Is he really as sexy in real life?
Of course, we must. If he wasn't.
Is he as sexy in real life as he is on film?
Oh, sexier.
Are his teeth real?
Yes, those are his real teeth. The gold teeth are like fronts, but he's super sexy because he's also extraordinarily nice and weird and funny, and like he'll say the most unexpected things. He's really well read, but he did grow up tough in the streets. He's like this Brando type asshole.
Alexander's all hot right now.
Yeah, that is my type, girl. Okay, Jen, real fast before you go, we're gonna play rapid fire, real fast. It's just silly little questions.
Okay.
Can you remember your worst audition?
Yeah. Okay. It was this horror movie, and I had to pretend I was chained to a wall while my husband was being disemboweled.
Oh, fun. Why was that bad?
Well, just having to like scream in front of a room of people that you didn't know and like pretend you were chained to a wall. And the director was so weird. I also mispronounced the name of the project. It was supposed to be called Abandoned, and I said I'm here for Abandon.
That's the French pronunciation.
Okay.
So you were fine. That's the French.
And you've done Tom Stoppard.
It's a foreign film.
That's the foreign version.
Yeah.
All right, Jen, your next worst. What is your worst date?
Oh man, I've never really dated. I always am in long-term relationships. I've been with the same man for like 12 years, so we could ask him to take me on a date.
Yeah. He's like, we're through it.
Yeah.
All right, Jen, after a day of shooting, such as today, what is your ritual? What are you going to do right now when you hang up with us?
Well, I'm going to pet this dog that I see, that I love, and then I'm going to wash my hair, wash my face, stand in front of the refrigerator, and act like there's something in there that could solve my problem.
I love it. I love it. P.S. When you're coming to L.A. and visit, you have to come and see us.
Well, I would love to.
Yeah, of course. And what is your biggest pet peeve?
Gosh. Like social injustice or like table manners?
Like table manners pet peeve.
Well, I guess when people bite the fork while they're pulling it out.
Ew, who does that? Oh, God.
That like makes my teeth.
Guys,
Oh, my God.
People do it. Guys, people do it.
Oh, my God. Even just hearing about that, like, you just, that gives me the heebie-jeebies. Okay. What is the most embarrassing song on your playlist?
Oh, God, there's so many. Most embarrassing. Do you know what I didn't download it, but I watched that new Bella Thorne video today, and I can't stop singing it.
No, not Bitch, I'm Bella
You know what
Thorne.
I'm talking about?
Bitch, I'm Bella Thorne.
Bitch, I'm Bella Thorne.
Oh my God. Seriously?
That is embarrassing.
I don't know.
Oh my God.
Oh, Lord.
Someone said that the other day, and I was like, when I was out with some friends, and they're like, bitch, I'm Bella Thorne. I was like, no, bitch, you're not. Like, what is that?
You work at Subway. You're not Bella Thorne. Jenn Lyon, this has been so much fun. Where can our listeners, where can our viewers find you on social media?
On Twitter, I'm Miss Jenn, and on Instagram, I'm the Jenn Lyon. I like to keep it fresh.
Yes. All right. So for Twitter, that's Miss Jenn Lyon, and on Instagram, it's the Jenn Lyon.
I feel like we need to know her favorite ice cream flavor since she worked at an ice cream shop.
Yeah.
Ooh, gosh, that's tough, you guys.
You can have more than
we
one.
had one called Caramel Mousse Trap, which was like dulce de leche, and it had like peanut butter cups in it as well. It was so salty and just.
Yes.
When I hear moose tracks, I think it's like plop, plop, plop. I don't like it's not yummy to me. Jenn Lyon, this has been such a treat. Thank you so much. We're gonna let you go, and we're gonna let our viewers see the trailer for season 2 of Claws. Thank you, Jen. Come see us in LA.
Yay.
Oh, sweet. Thank you so much.
Good night. Good night. All right, ladies and gentlemen, watch season 2 trailer for Claws premiering Sunday at 9 p.m. When we come back, we have a live performance for you, so stick around.
We spent our whole lives being told we were nothing. That we would never be nothing. Just want to live the dream. Have a chain of nail salons. And take care of my brother and my girls. We coming. They don't own us. These are the baddest bitches in Palmetto.
Always thought I was a visionary.
Our new boss.
But she never wanna listen to me.
She's putting a lot of pressure on us to do more nails.
This is the beginning of wonderful friendship. It's an opportunity for us to tighten our game.
You promised to make better life choices.
I got this under control. I got this.
1, 2, 3, oh!
We are gonna take our rightful place in this world.
I just wanna be.
Oh, you want out of this life?
I made a choice.
I just wanna be.
We all did.
I seriously cannot wait. Look at that Niecy Nash and all the sexy goodness. How fun is that talking to Jenn Lyon? She literally is like riding around.
Not a big deal.
Just filming, just filming your favorite show is all. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have live performances for you. We're also going to take a look at one of my favorite music videos by Miss Kasey Lansdale. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, I would like to present to you Mr. Trevor Page.
Oh, thank you. Hi. Yeah, sure.
Let's do it.
Turn it up. And if you could turn it up anymore.
Girl, he gets turned up.
I'm gonna be like singing at y'all, so. So many faces, how do you do? So many places just to follow you. But I would go until the end of the earth, just to know I held you, that's how much it's worth. I'm out here racing the time. I am nothing without you, so I just stay. No, I can't walk away, and no matter how much pain, I'm addicted. Keep on playing your games. I just can't walk away. Suitors competing as far as the eye can see, chasing that feeling that validates me. And I would go until the end of the earth, just to know I held you, that's how much you're worth. And I'm out here racing the time. I am nothing without you, so I just stay. No, I can't walk away. No matter how much pain, I'm addicted. Keep on playing your games. In the time, I am nothing without you, so I just stay. I can't walk away, and no matter how much pain, I'm addicted. Keep on playing your games. I just can't walk away. Just can't walk away.
Ooh, Trevor
right.
Page!
No sound check. No sound check. No. Thank you.
That's how
Thank
we
you
do.
for having me.
Written by, performed by, produced by. I've known you literally. It's been like I think 12 years. No.
I'm only like,
Oh, yes,
20,
I forget.
So, I mean, yeah.
Me too, sweetie. Trevor Page grew up singing in the choir of a Southern Baptist church in Titusville, Florida, but his informal music education began at home, listening to gospel, soul, and R&B records that his mother would play. The product of a multiracial family, he understood early that music could help bring people together, and that's what he's been doing since. He began writing, producing, performing, and developing his own musical style. Early on, he formed a hip-hop group, produced and recorded an album, and went on a short U.S. tour for promotion. Didn't you tour with Britney Spears?
But not as talent.
Okay.
But it was still amazing. But
yeah. There's some
I was
pictures
just helping them.
Like she was literally starting out, and you're next to her. You guys are like both babies. That's so cute. When the tour concluded, he produced his debut solo album, These Days, achieving success with music placed in independent films and projects for Clear Channel and CNN. His newest release, Oligarchy, right?
Yeah, got a little
there's
political.
It's very political. Yeah. Currently available at all digital retailers, Amazon, iTunes. You can also check them out on Spotify, like we said. Grab them coins.
Please, that's what I always say. Add me to your playlist, because as we know, people aren't buying CDs, like we said. So,
he's also produced music for many, many singers, including the Sing Off TV show Winners Committed and the Voice finalist, Corin Hawthorne. Welcome to the show, Trevor Page.
Thanks for having me.
Performing Saturday at Out at the Fair.
Yes.
Also joining us, returning to the show. I love it when you come on. My country girl and friend, singer Kasey Lansdale is also known for work as an author, editor, actress, and producer, as well as host and founder of the East Texas Songwriters Workshop. Her full-length debut album titled Restless was released on Blue Siren Records with executive producer John Carter Cash. You know, just a small name. She was recognized by the Country Music Association as Spotlight Star of the Month and has literally toured the globe, opening for Winona Judd, and has been featured on Sundance Channel's most popular program, Happen Leonard, with her hair. You need to see this. As well as on the Animal Planet, where she performed her new single, Living in the Moment, live on the popular network show, Finding Bigfoot. And if you guys have not seen that episode, it's on YouTube. Literally. It's like amazing. With that like blue or like that green kind of film, because it's like night vision. Yeah. And she's out there, she's singing her heart out, Finding Bigfoot. I thought it was going to be like a Harry and the Hendersons kind of love story. And I'm like, and
that was when the camera went off.
Yeah. Hey. And Trevor, you're going to love this. As a horror story novelist, she has written a number of titles, including The Case of the Bleeding Wall, with her award-winning father, novelist Joe Lansdale, and both of them are returning to the show on the 19th to talk about book writing. And I had the absolute pleasure of singing Son of a Preacher Man at my last cabaret, where she stole the spotlight. Please welcome Kasey Lansdale.
Hi, thank you.
I'm in love. Also premiering his debut, or premiering the debut single of Manipulate. It's the debut of Manipulate.
Yes.
It's not your debut song.
Right.
Okay. Jeez. So many words with this job.
You got him confused.
Yeah, I know. Taylor was born and raised in the Bay Area. He began to show interest in entertainment at the young age of 4, constantly dancing to Michael and Janet Jackson music videos. Gay? Who would have thought? He finished 2 years of college, then moved to LA to go after his dreams. In 2013, he began work on his debut album, Rehab. It was a dance pop album full of pre-gaming songs. You guys need to listen when you're going out for a night, which gave him the opportunity to perform at West Hollywood's Halloween Festival in October. And we know there's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of thousands of people just listening. By January of 2015, his all-rapping track, Classic, featuring DJ Brent Taylor, was born and premiered at his residency at House of Blues, and it sparked a whole entire new album, Flipside.
Yes.
Flipside was released, and it was primarily a rap album. He secured another residency at our local bar here, Bar Lou Beach, which is one of the most fun venues. It's so gorgeous, and it's so great, and really great names perform there. He has been named as one of the top 5 artists to watch by Revolutionary Gay Magazine. He's performed on the Las Vegas Strip on New Year's Eve. And then he left us for about 6 months to go to Vegas, where he hooked up with American Idol powerhouse Pia Toscano, and they recreated one of Taylor's songs from the Black Album called Love Me Again, and the new single was released in November 2017, quickly became his highest streamed song on all streaming services, and he's been working in Las Vegas on his new tracks, which he's released a few. Tonight's the new one. And his Instagram, he constantly is in the studio, and I love seeing behind the scenes pictures, clips, and all that, because you get excited, and then you see where the real talent is, because there's no auto-tune, you're there. What I can't get over, because I'm a musical theater, that's how I learned music. I need to have my sheet music. It needs to be scored. I need to know where the note's going to go. It cannot change. Where you guys, and Trevor, you and I have worked in the studio, where you just come up and be like, why don't you, instead of singing this, why don't you sing this? And you create a whole new lyric, or you create a backbeat, or you mash it up to something. That is such, I don't think you can learn that talent. You can learn music theory. Yeah, well, and you DJ, you have to hear these beats and mix them.
I think both take, a degree of, effort and talent. Yeah. Definitely. I think I take my hat off to people in theater so much for having to be able to hit those notes every time, and there is no auto-tune, there is no studio to go back and re-record, so that's a total amazing thing in itself, I think.
It is a skill, because sometimes I would say the lazy man's way would be, I don't want to hit that, or I can't hit that today, I'm going to opt out. And other people are going like, they just did something magical. And you're like, no, I'm just lazy. I just didn't want to go there.
I was like, no, I was out too late last night, and my voice can't hit that high today.
I'm amazing, but mainly I'm just exhausted.
Yeah.
And as a producer, to speed things along sometime, if you're working with other artists, depending on how they are, it is a real tool these days, I think, in the industry, like it or not.
Because I know you have worked with some people that have less ability than
others.
And
these last, when I worked with the people on Corinne from The Voice and Committed from the Sing Off, they were impeccable. They were incredible. They sang it through, 4 times, and it was, terrific. I didn't really have to do anything. So with that, working with artists like that is always, a blessing. But you work with all kinds of people, and sometimes people are, you have to kind of wiggle their talent out a little bit, just make them comfortable.
That's how you put it, Trevor?
That's how I direct people.
Family friendly.
You have to get them
wiggle
get
their
them comfortable
talent
and
I've wiggled.
You have to make them think it's their idea.
I'm gonna call it wiggling now.
Yes. Okay. I need to wiggle your talent right now.
wiggle that.
You're having an
Need to
offer.
wiggle this
Wiggling talent
scene.
for a while.
I'm gonna be arrested.
Now, when you guys collaborate with other people, and I know Taylor, you've done a lot of duets, and I know you've performed with other musicians. In fact, with poor little old me on stage. What are some of the most important things that you need to keep in mind as a musician when you are collaborating with somebody? And I mean somebody vocally. So when you're doing like a duet.
I think that honestly the most important thing is chemistry. Like, I feel like getting to know the person that you're actually doing a duet with, because you can tell even through a completely engineered track if the two of you really don't get along, or if you just met up at the studio and decided to do this, like that then and there. Like me and Pia, we spent about like a couple of weeks together before we actually even recorded the song. So I think and then I feel like that's honestly the most important thing.
But the new trend is now all these duet albums that they're not even in the same state, and they're recording
they record
these
it
duets.
like they're
I think
different studios.
For me, it's like almost finding somebody who's different enough to where you each enhance each other's abilities. Because if you're too similar, then it feels more, even if it's not between you, vocally it could be more of a competition. I think even you're referring to the duet that we did, I think that sort of thing is what is fascinating, because you do come from a different background than what I come through.
And it was Son of a Preacher Man.
And
you're like,
that's
feel
really
the beat. And I was like, feel the what? Is it written down here? Turn page.
But you know what? I think that's the kind of thing that if we did it again, it would hit even better. Because we're coming from two different places, and that creates that unique sound. Whereas if I was doing it with somebody who had that same musicality that I have, it loses the interesting factor of it.
I agree that adding and collaborating different styles, I think, is a lot of fun. And musically, I always kind of try and do that. But I also think really letting each artist bring themselves to the table as well. Not trying to direct too much, and I'm kind of always in the production seat very often, but I'm really trying to let the artists kind of, do their thing as well.
You do a very good job while nicely saying, well, that didn't quite work out. Let's
and that's another thing.
this.
I always say constructive criticism without being an asshole,
in the studio you're so vulnerable. You don't want someone to be like, that sucked.
Wait,
right.
really?
And there is always
I'm the complete opposite. Like when I'm in the
get it
studio,
together.
when I'm in the studio, I literally tell my engineer all the time, I'm like, you can cuss at me. Like you can tell me if it sucks.
See,
I
I
don't
would like
think
that
that's
too. That
conducive.
like just gonna.
Yeah.
And Kristen, as a filmmaker
But I mean, maybe
on
he knows
set,
that about you, that works
Right.
for you. You know, yeah.
I think I'm like one in a million people that works for it. Everyone else, like I was writing for somebody else, and we were in the studio, and I kind of gave that like harsh criticism back, and she didn't respond
Down.
well.
Yeah. I have a lot of feelings. I would prefer to not.
And I
They're
feel
all like right here, just constantly.
And there's always, I think, a way to say what you need to say and say it constructively without being a dick. There's a difference between being
you and I
dick
get into
and
this
being
fight
frank.
all the time because I'm just like.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. I'm always like, be nice to me. Be my friend, please.
Well, and you know how certain people
Defriend.
respond. I mean, you obviously, that's not the way you respond.
Right.
That's the way I respond. And that's why finding the chemistry of a good producer and a good engineer, that's important too.
Sure.
Because if you need the tough love and you have somebody who's going to be a little softer, then you're not going to give your best performance.
Yeah.
And vice versa. And I mean, for me, that's my favorite thing, like working with John Carter. Some of the best moments were he wouldn't say anything. He'd just be like, why don't you run that again? And I'd be
And
like,
you're like, I know what's
I'd be like, okay,
Yeah.
I got it. Message received.
It's the same when Greg takes pictures and he's just silent for 3 seconds after. He's like, let's do it again.
I think we could even make that a little tighter.
Yes.
You know, we
Right.
could always make it a little tighter.
Oh,
That's what
yeah.
I think.
Of course,
It's
always
not
be a
bad,
little tighter.
Wow.
But Kristen, as a filmmaker, you also deal with that on set. And I know, especially when you're doing an independent film or a web series, literally budget is what a producer's
yeah.
thinking of. And if something's just not clicking, you kind of have to force things along.
Yeah. I think one of the things that we have the ability to do on set before the cameras roll is to block it, and you know immediately when something's not working when you block it. And so and I think the other thing is I run the kind of set. There are other people, so I'm not a writer, or I'm not like one of those writers. It's like you have to say what I wrote, and if you don't say what I wrote, we're going to do it over and over again until you say what I wrote, and that's the end. So like I will have actors who will run through a scene and they will do it as written, and then they'll like say can we just stop, like these don't make sense, or like I think it feels better when I do this. And so I'm very open to, if that feels better, like let's do that, unless there's some kind of plot point. But actors will know like when it doesn't feel right, and they will also know the adjustment. Or
But that's you being reasonable about your ego, and you're going, I want the project to be good instead of my ego taking the front of what I know will make. And
which is
that's
awesome.
and as somebody, behind the booth or behind the camera, that's what the performer, I think for the most part, needs, is someone who goes, you know what, I'm going to set my ego aside and do this for the good of the project, because that's good for everybody.
Yeah.
And that's a really good way to work under. So
thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah. It takes a lot of lucky actors to be on set with you.
Yeah. And so
you have a very gentle touch, because I've seen you in action, and yes, but it's also firm when it needs to be, but like in a nice way. And like Will, like you're the nicest guy. How do you deal with all these volunteers for Out at the Fair? Because
I smile. I smile.
They
big.
smile too, and they don't all have teeth.
Yeah, and then I pass them on to Daniel. I'm like, you can email Daniel at.
So you guys are performing Saturday for Out at the Fair, and I love the idea of Out at the Fair because it's kind of like gay days at the county fair. And as a kid growing up, I never wanted to go to the county fair because I thought it was a bunch of people in cowboy hats and jeans, and they were.
It was last year.
No, but it opened my eyes last year because it was like this macho world, and what the hell am I going to do at the county fair? Eat a carb? No, they don't.
Funnel cake.
Yes, please.
And try using your beer tickets for a Cosmopolitan. Doesn't work. Rawr. But what I love about the panel and the schedule of singers that we have for Saturday, it's so varied. And Kasey, you're country music, and you're an LGBT ally because you're my friend, and a lot of the causes that you speak up for. But I mean, you're definitely a straight girl.
It's very true. Yes.
But it's so funny because you do come from a world where country music is not part of the mainstream yet. It hasn't had that successful crossover, other than a few little items here and there. And as far as an LGBT country singer, no. And Taylor, you also coming from the rap world, LGBT entertainers are not known for their rap.
Right.
And so there's a lot of inclusion that's happening on
that's why it's
Saturday.
important for me as a country singer. I think, the only person I can think of who is vocal about it is Dolly Parton. And everybody loves Dolly Parton.
Yeah.
And that's why it's important to do these kind of things, to let everybody know that the country music that I love and the morals and the values that I grew up with, still loving country music, that is what music is supposed to do. I mean, your bio was talking about bringing people together.
Yeah.
That's what music is supposed to do. It's not supposed to isolate people. And the fact that the genre that I love so much sort of purposefully goes out of its way to exclude people is hurtful for me. And so that's why I really appreciate, because you guys could go, country music, they don't really include, so I don't want to have a country music singer. But instead of kind of following that same path, you go, no, we're going to open this up and let other people come in. And I know that I appreciate it, and the people who are advocates and who are allies appreciate that.
I'll tell you what happened last year at the fair, because I was on stage for a long time, and we had all the different acts, and I thought...
Yeah.
And I walked out, and it was not my usual crowd that I can, make cocktail jokes and all this. And I'm like, oh my God, there's children and there's families and there's guys watching sports on their phone. And I was like, hi, guys. But it turned into a day of such fun because I went out into the audience. We joked about everything.
Yep.
And it was like a big party. Nobody even left for all the times.
Nope.
And it felt like such a great day.
It turns into like a giant house party.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, like, you can joke around with a little kid,
Yep.
and, a straight guy will get up and do the dance contest
Yep.
or whatever, and that's what I love. And that's what Pride Season should be about.
But I also love that you have made it a family-friendly kind of thing, because it does expand and kind of reach out to different people who may not, be comfortable at, in West Hollywood's Pride or something like that. So I think it's terrific.
One of the biggest, I guess, compliments I would take it is we've had people come up to us and say, I would never bring my parents to Pride. but like I feel comfortable bringing them to out at the fair.
I just came from Laguna Beach
Pride.
That's its own issue.
It's kind of, and I understand that. I'm a DJ. I work San Diego Pride. We have a lot of fun. But like the fair, it's different, and we focus on something else and a different aspect of LGBTQ, and it's very important, and it really is waking up the fair industry, and it's awesome.
Well, because how like out at the fair is taking off like
we now
like
have
wildflower.
Yeah, last year at this time we had one location. This year
we
now
had
we
a
have
fight
5.
about this. I always said wildfire.
It is wildfire.
It's wildfire.
Oh, no, I used to
sounds
say
like
wildflower.
nicer.
No, because it's like a
Wildfire.
weed that spreads.
You're very cute.
It's wildfire,
You're very
baby.
cute.
There's so many things wrong with me. No, but there's so many cities that are just signing up.
Yeah, we now have 5 locations. After San Diego, we go to Marin County Fair, then we're off to the California State Fair, then the Santa Clara County Fair, and then we're off to New Mexico State Fair.
That's awesome.
Well, and you know what? You're talking about, I don't want to go to a straight fair because the guys are in cowboy boots and cowboy
I don't want to get
hats
beaten
and
up.
beer and all of that. And I think that, and I don't know because this is not my mentality, but maybe that's why the family friendly fair, because they're not feeling like, oh, we're going to go and it's, everybody's
It's
a drag
not over the
queen.
top
Everybody's
and-
a,
Right.
you know, so
or naked or making dick
everybody
jokes.
has
Yeah.
their,
So I need to change my set.
stereotype. And I think that that's what's important is you're breaking those stereotypes on both ends.
But I do think I would love to know. I feel like either I'm getting older, which is true.
Nope.
Or like are prides getting racier?
Oh.
Or have they always been that racy and it just hasn't been?
I think it's
Good
always
question,
been. Actually,
yeah.
I've seen
But I
prides
almost
get
feel
better.
like it's
I feel like San Diego's is honestly getting cleaner.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Palm
it's
Springs
not-
Pride is a very friendly pride. If you want
So
to
is
go
it
to
turning-
those events that are a little bit naughtier, you can certainly find them.
Yeah.
But last year, Palm Springs Pride was the best pride of my life because it was a little bit of everything and it wasn't intrusive. Nobody felt out of place.
I think you
But-
kind of
but
lose
it-
part of
it's very
the-
racy.
the-
I think
what
some are
pride is
racy,
sometimes when it turns too sexy and too naked and stuff like that. I
Right.
think it should be for everyone. It should be for kids and families and everyone.
But Kristen, as an LGBT content creator, sometimes when you see like there's a gay show on HBO, so we have to have a graphic gay sex scene and everything, or there has to be vulgarity. Have you found that content hasn't had to be so racy to make its point?
Yeah, I mean, we're not. Nothing on Tello is like super racy.
Right.
Because like I don't know, like the lesbian community, we really love like a slow burn romance as opposed to like
To watch a lesbian porn, it's like a 5-hour movie. Gay porn is a 10-minute, and that's with dialogue.
It's like, I mean,
becoming a
like,
lesbian.
I mean, everyone's like,
Honey,
oh
I
my
thought you were. You
God,
have like 5 cats.
Damn.
Do you have 5 cats?
No, just
The show should be about the 5 cats.
Yeah.
No.
I mean,
Trevor's next EP title.
Yeah. The 5 cats. Me and my 5 cats.
All of their names.
Yeah, I mean, we have a project called Riley Para that's like one of our really popular projects, and there's like a really lovely slow burn romance between these 2 women. And I remember I was doing a rewrite, so it came from this amazing writer John Cannon and his book series, and so I was doing a rewrite, and like in one of the episodes, I was like, oh, this would actually be a really nice place where like they just sort of like their hands like brush, and I'm gonna be honest, like I stole it from Imagine Me and You, which is another great lesbian project where there's like literally like this hand brush, and like if you watch like or linger, I should say, it's a linger. And I was writing and I was like, oh my God, the lesbians are gonna go nuts over this. It's a fucking pinky touch, like that's it. And sure as shit, they were all like, oh my God, this is just the cutest, sexiest thing. And like, so we don't really do now there's another lesbian movie called Below Her Mouth, which I swear to God is like softcore porn, and it's like
No, you don't say.
That sounds like it.
I was watching it and I was like,
I don't believe it.
Everyone's
there
eyebrows went
absolutely
up
is.
in the room.
So I mean, yeah, like, and it was, and it was, So I think you can have both, right? Like it's a yes and scenario, and it's just what's the kind of storytelling are you in the mood for? What's the kind of storytelling that you like? Because potentially that may be, some would say, maybe not me, it's maybe lacking in dialogue and like a really like good story thing, but there's a lot of like lots of sex and dildos and things that happen, and so yeah, so it's both. So I think you can, it's just like just like the straight community has this great variety, I think the lesbian community has that variety. I'm sure the if you just look at what were the last kind of Oscar nominated things with the gay male community, you have that, but with like Call Me by Your Name and Moonlight and
NyQuil, you mean?
Sex sells no matter
Love
what.
Simon,
very often. You're like, I mean, depending on where you're looking, if you're on Showtime or HBO or anything.
Yeah, but I think it's dull because we see it so much. We see this on Instagram. I have
like
so many
everywhere.
friends that have millions of followers, and it's the same picture I'm seeing every day.
The
They're in
same
their
filtered
underwear,
four
they're
photos.
shirtless,
Selfie,
and it's like
yeah.
I forget now what I've seen because it all looks the same. So I think
Why
we
do people keep
become-
following though?
Welcome to the
Just
daily struggle.
Because?
Yeah.
But here's the hypocrisy. I still follow every one of them, and I still
Exactly.
check it every day. But it's lost on me. Something really has to stand out for me to pay attention. Do you know what I mean?
We all know what you mean.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
It's like something I feel like we talk about like almost every time that I'm
Yeah.
here is just like being on Instagram and being social as an artist. Like you still have to compete with every Instagram model that's out there, and like sucks for me because honestly, I hate like posting pictures of myself shirtless. I really do. I really
that's
do.
what gets the most activity.
But that's
I
that's the
know.
only way to do
My
it.
mom wants to send you T-shirts just because she thinks you don't have any.
I have 3. It's perfectly fine.
And they're all cropped tops.
Yeah, they work out fine. This is my roommates. It's totally fine.
No, but I mean, with your Instagram, I mean, because I follow your Instagram, and I think it's really cute, and it's a side of you. Obviously, you put work into your body, you put work into your image,
Yeah.
but you also couple that with, like I said, some really great behind the scenes of you in the studio, or here's a release, or here's a set on our video shoot, and that tells me the whole story.
I posted pictures of
Yeah.
my brand new book, and I'm like so pumped about it. I'm like, here's a picture of my book, and there's like 80 people that are like, oh, that's great. And then I posted just a selfie of me, with like I'd been on set, and so someone else put in the work and effort to do my hair and makeup, and I was like, all right. And then hundreds and hundreds of people, and I'm just like, here's this thing that like blood, sweat, and tears that I created from within. And then here's somebody else who did a lot of work. And don't get me wrong. I mean, there is something to be said to people who work out and take care of their bodies. And that unto itself is a task, and that takes the work. But that's not the point of what we're doing. We're trying to create art, and we're trying to let these things that we've spent sometimes years on be seen by the public. And all they want for the most part, I mean, that's a classification, but mostly what they want to see is somebody with their shirt off or somebody with a nice smile, and that's infuriating for the artist who works their whole life to put this piece of art out, and people are like, yeah, that's nice, but where's your bikini pic?
Yeah,
right. And what do we do about that? Like, what do you do when everybody? Not that I don't hate the Kardashians, but what do you do when so many people love the Kardashians, and like even with like with releasing music, nobody buys CDs anymore. It's just kind of like the way it's kind of going.
I think you really just have to decide what you want to do. It's like in my opinion, it's very like, do I play the game or do I try and take like the honest route and just stick to, I'm just gonna keep putting out my music. Like,
totally, yeah.
I think I've done both. One works better for me.
Right.
I wish it was the other way, but yeah.
I try to
right.
alternate and not. I'm a little more not socially conservative, but just personally conservative. So you're very rarely going to see me in anything that's not basically what I'm wearing now, which is like leggings and a long sleeve T-shirt and my best wishes.
But that's also super relatable too. That's super relatable to other people.
That's not what people respond to. So the very first and only in my entire life, and also from here up, I might add, picture of me in a bathing suit I posted because I was half covered with a hat. I was at a weird angle, and you could tell that I was in a bathing suit. And I got so much response to that. And then after I did it, I felt icky. And I was
That's really your personality. And I love, one of the things I love about our friendship is that you are very conservative, but you're still like open, and you can like party down and throw down. Not like party down, but you know what I mean? You're what America should be, where you are the way that you are, but we can deal with other people the way that they are, and then we all have a good time, right? And then Kasey knows, like, her radar is so good. Like, y'all have hung out with me. There comes that point, you're like, okay, I'm gonna go now. Like, your radar for that is so good. Yeah. How dare you, sir?
Been there a few times.
I'm like,
I know
dare you,
how
sir.
that goes.
Kasey, I want to play a little bit of one of my favorite music videos, and you're just sassy and hot, and I've had the opportunity to hear you sing the song, and I wonder if you're going to sing it on Saturday.
I am going to sing it on Saturday.
Yes! You guys, it's my favorite. It's actually, well, when I do go to the gym, and I start to go back to the gym again, it is on my playlist, and when I'm feeling like, whatever, this
Bless
song.
you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Let's see a little bit of Kasey Lansdale.
I beg lying, try pleading, try getting down on your knees and bawling and a squalling and a crawling back. It's gonna take a whole lot more than love. You're lying, you're crying. What you selling, boy, I ain't buying. You think a few little tears and a baby I was wrong is gonna win back my love. You're sorry, but sorry ain't enough. You're sorry, well that's a fact. You're sorry, I ain't taking you back. You're sorry, I'm better than that. 'Cause sorry ain't enough. Try begging, try pleading, try getting down on your knees and bawling and a squalling and a crawling back. It's gonna take a whole lot more than love. You're lying, you're crying. What you selling, boy, I ain't buying. You think a few little tears and a baby I was wrong is gonna win back my love. You're sorry, you're sorry, yeah, you're sorry, all right. Sorry ain't enough. Sorry ain't enough.
Yes! Oh, get it!
Yeah.
Every time I see that, I think about like when I was going with him after him with the broom, and the first time they didn't tell me when to stop, so I was just hitting that guy with the broom.
The poor actor's like, oh god, I don't get paid enough.
It's like, take two.
Beat that dude up.
I had it on repeat for a while. I'm not gonna lie.
And I'm not kidding.
That's so
Like
nice.
once you feel empowered and you're like, yes.
Thank you.
But let's talk about your new book. You're coming back on the 19th to talk about your book writing, but your new book, and it kind of has you on the cover.
It is me on the cover.
Yeah.
It's the artist's interpretation of a photo I sent them of me.
And you know, every time you're on the show, people ask me about this dichotomy, horror stories, and it's not just like Becky Sue, you know, ghost, boo. It's like horror stories.
And then they were disemboweled.
Yes. You're like,
I wrote that movie that she auditioned for. So I was like, how dare you pronounce it wrong?
And you're like, cornbread? Dead. Where did this, because I know your dad writes horror stories and novels, and he's a celebrity onto his own. But this, you picked up that kind of love for this darkness. How?
Well, you know, I think it's the humor of it because, I mean,
calm down, Grace.
I know you're excited.
Yes.
No, I mean, what's the Mark Twain quote? You know, there's no humor in heaven, and it's because all humor is basically based on someone else's misfortune. And I always liked that aspect of humor, and especially the dark side of humor, because basically you laugh to keep from crying, and then that's always been my mentality. Is I hear something off. I mean, listen, I'm going to hell. I accept it. But today I heard Kate Spade died. I was like, shit, I should have bought that purse because now it's going to be double. My first thought, that is the worst thing you can think. And that's where my brain went. I was like, it's going to be double price. I missed my moment. And
the Golden Girls have a whole episode about something like that.
But
You're
we're all laughing
sort of
right now. So.
Yeah.
Oh, come on.
I'm laughing out of shock. I'm laughing out of shock.
No, because we're all like, dang it.
But that's, I know everybody here is like, we should have bought that
I
purse.
know. I should have ordered 5.
Girl, I did.
But that's where my mind goes, and I think it's a protective measure. And so the horror writing, yes, I grew up into that world. My father, it's funny, he's known a lot as a horror writer. I don't think of him as a horror. I think of him as a crime writer. But I think the things that he wrote in that era were so original and horrific that label sort of stuck with him. But if you go and actually look through his work, he hasn't written that much horror stuff. It's mainly crime, it's mainly mystery, and a few things horror. So when things were presented to me to write horror, I was already familiar with that world. People were already familiar with the name. And then once you kind of sell something in a genre, then it's quote unquote, sorry friends, it's quote unquote easier to sell again in that same genre.
Yes.
And it's also a genre that I love, and I love, it's the same thing that we were talking about with the festivals and the fairs. I love going to a horror convention and the people are, you know, tatted up and mohawks and all kinds of looks, and you have in your head a stereotype, and I would like to buy your book, and I'm the most gentle person that exists in life. And not everybody in the horror community has that look.
Right.
I mean, some people, you know, hello, but I love that it breaks the stereotypes, and I love that that is a genre that is frowned upon, and that's not at all the representation of who those people are. And again, it's the point. You make the art because you want to bring people together. And I love shocking people with, oh, I had this idea. I had the idea that I couldn't go to a fair because of, you know, I didn't want to have this, or I had an idea I couldn't go to Pride Day. And I love having that reaction where people go, oh, I thought horror was XYZ, and I realize now that it's just another way to express all those feelings.
I love that. Girl,
here, here.
Where's your TED Talk? You and Kristen need to do a TED Talk.
I would love it.
Well, and Trevor, you know, so us spending time, you have such a love of like unicorns and fantasy.
And horror, and I mean, anytime he would come by, he's, you know, I've got posters on the wall and stuff like that.
He has VHSs for movies that nobody has ever seen, not even the actor's parents. I mean, yes.
I can't get rid of them, especially like the Disney squishy boxes. I'm like that old.
Oh
but you know what I mean?
I remember.
Yes, I do know.
Do you have the Little Mermaid one with
Of course I do.
with
That's like my number one. Yes, the original.
Yes,
That's like my number one favorite Disney movie ever, though. But
I dated a drag queen named Squishy Box. Yes, it was.
I'm sorry.
But talking about breaking barriers, let's go back to talking about being a rapper in the LGBT community. Number one, you get probably, and I'm, again, making assumptions. I make assumptions all day long. It saves me time. But from being a rapper in the rap world, people are like, oh, he's LGBT. He's not a real rapper.
Right.
Being a rapper in the LGBT world, LGBT, oh, he's not real LGBT. He's like a rapper.
Yeah.
Where do you fit?
I'm okay with not fitting. I really am, because I'm also a singer, and it's something that like a lot of people kind of forget about sometimes, because they focus on the thing that's most not normal. Like, oh, wait, he's a white boy who's a rapper. Oh, wait, he's a gay white boy.
I didn't even think about that. You have that on top of it. A
Yeah.
white rapper.
I wasn't sure if we could say the white boy part, because I was like, Macklemore, Eminem.
G-Eazy, all that.
Yeah, but Eminem's on Grindr now, so.
And that's just something like, and it's something that I actually play on in my raps as well.
It's a rumor.
Like I play on the fact that like you'll compare me to Eminem, you'll compare me to G-Eazy, you'll compare me to Macklemore, but I'm different. Like I do all these different things, and I'm okay with it. Like people who if you're uncomfortable with me being a rapper, then I mean you're still listening, so I don't really have an issue with it.
And you're opening the genre. You're kind of like sharing it with.
Yeah,
you know.
I don't think anyone should be like put into one specific genre. That's why I love singing just as much as I love rapping. Just more of the videos that I've been doing lately have been rapping, because I just was in love with those songs at the time.
Well, and each of your albums really takes on the personality of what you're going through in life. Like you went through a dark period, and that was like a darker album. But your first one was like, let's go out and hit the streets, and
that one had no rapping.
Is in everything.
Yeah,
right. And what you're doing now is kind of this mix. And I know, like life, like with all of us, it's like, okay, we're on this journey. What's next? What's happening now? With like we're talking about social media, everybody has content. Competition is ridiculous, and I don't know how anybody makes it. You have to be rich to be famous.
Right.
You can't be that undiscovered thing anymore, because that just doesn't happen.
Well, there's no artist development in anything.
Yeah. Right. No.
I mean, I've talked to my dad about. I mean, Reba is my idol here.
Preach.
She didn't sell her first 2 albums. Now if she came out in this era, there would be no Reba, because if she put out a freshman and a sophomore album and they didn't go, there is no way the producer would have been like, it's cool, we'll give it a 3rd.
Yeah.
And my dad says the same thing. He's like, in the 80s, he's like, the first couple books I put out, he's like, I don't even want people to know those exist, because I wasn't putting out the product of the skill that I would later get from just learning to put out the product. And now people don't get that opportunity. You have to immediately be bestseller. You have to immediately have a hit. You have to, I mean, I don't know how anybody does anything, and hopefully, you know, that people will tune into I think maybe that's why they tune into those things of people just being in their bikini, because that doesn't take artist development. That doesn't take work, and people can still connect to it. And you get that reward where people
it's that instant gratification.
Yeah, and you go like, oh, this feels good, and you know.
Well, it's also
we're so visual.
Yeah, well, it's also the thing where I've learned exactly that, where it's like if you put out a single, you better be putting out the video the same day.
Right.
Yeah,
or
and a good video that looks decent, and
well,
you
about
have
it.
money behind. Which, if you're an artist,
so then how does anybody
up,
do? And it's the same thing.
It's rich kids whose parents have paid. For, very
often.
Like,
because I just worked my ass off for the past 8 months on doing
there you go.
3 singles and 3 videos. Like, There's people. There's
it takes ambition,
but it took you time to like save up that money. And
so you're right,
and like
Yeah.
So of course, it's not the
There's
way.
like 95%,
but I'm saying
yeah.
very often these days, not always,
right.
But it's you see a child who's not signed to any label or anything like that, and it's because their parents have. And I have like people come to me to produce music for them, and and I mean
But
I have to make money, but you know what I mean.
But I do think on the flip side of that, there are no more gatekeepers to the fans.
Right.
Right. Like before,
100%.
you used to have gatekeepers.
That's how we book a lot of
fans.
great names on the show because you just have to ask. They're so accessible in a certain way.
And so I think that's one of the ways to at least start creating a fan base is to, like, if you look at music videos now that, I mean, didn't exist when you had like film, but the barrier of entry to making a music video is much easier now because the equipment doesn't cost
But that's
as
also
much
the
money.
blessing and the curse.
Yeah.
Now anybody who's a writer can self-publish. Now anybody who's a musician.
Right, but it's
like a double-edged
But that's
sword.
the thing is, like, you have to work then to find your tribe and to know who says yes to your work. And so, but before you had to sit there and you had to submit. I mean, how many like letters of and one could argue that it is a double-edged sword, but at the same time, you don't need someone to say yes. Like if you're passionate about creating content, like I do not have a great voice, but I love to sing. But I know that like. So I'm not going to go out there and try and make an album, right? But I'm going to put out the art that I love, that I know that I want to make.
She's going to sing in the shower and
I'm
surpass
gonna
all of us on Spotify.
Yeah, right. But I'm gonna, like,
that would be a viral video.
She puts out the vertical video on Spotify exclusively.
I mean, there's no. I should not. Well, 20 years ago, there's no way I would be a member of the Producers Guild or the TV Academy because I was able to make my own content, because I was persistent, like you guys have all been, because I was doing the thing that I love to do. I made enough stuff and got the ability to just be strong and like put it out there and figure out how to get it out there, that I now am able to have my tribe and find the people who say yes to me. And so when you do that, I think you're able to say yes to your fans and have people say yes to you. Like you have people, if saying yes to you who never would have been able to find you 15 years ago. Right. And how and
so
and
weird.
say
I
can do that. And like there's some little kid whose parents could be telling him you can't do this thing, but here's this person who's doing this thing and he's found you or she's found you, and it's like, I'm going to say yes to this, and now I'm going to support you in the way that I can. So we don't have gatekeepers to tell us we can or cannot make our art, and that's what I think is also like super powerful that we
social media
don't
has
have.
put the power in the hands of the artist. Too.
Well, and even when you're booking somebody, you need to be able to look at all their stuff and get their texture. It's not just a pretty glossy EPK.
You stocked?
Oh, we stocked.
Oh, he stocked.
That's like the way it is now.
He saw your birthday picture.
I just want to point out. I feel like
I'm
Taylor dropped a truth bomb that I just am like I'm going to think about like probably for the next week, and I think you said something like when we look at people, we look at the things that make them like different than us, and I think in this world where we're trying to find people and trying to find our tribe, that is how we and I've never thought about that. Like we immediately scan a room and we go, who are the different people in here, or what's the different thing in here, as opposed to what's that thing that like unites us. And it's so interesting that we navigate things like that, and I've like never thought about that, but I'm gonna like marinate on that. So thank you.
Right now.
I was like, oh my god.
Call me. We'll talk about it.
TV series coming.
Holy, or a song that's like, I was like, gee, like that's, but it's so.
That's
true.
such a great segue, Kristen. I would like right
great
now.
co-host.
Thank you, both y'all. Taylor, go ahead and get situated.
Get situated. Right.
So we are going. We're going to premiere Manipulate. I have to tell you this about Taylor. Like we talked about, it is hard work, and what I love about Taylor is that he's as business professional as he is a good friend, and he's sincere. You know how we can all read sincerity in this industry, and I just have to commend you on and all you guys. You're hard.
I've known Taylor for a long time, also. I just want to say that.
Me, okay. Before I do that, me and
but
Trevor,
he was on time.
Traffic.
Me and Trevor met 5 years ago, and we did like 3
juvenile hall.
Yeah. We were in middle school together. No, we did like a couple shows together like 5 years ago. It's like a reunion.
Yeah. I tell you, this the whole industry is such a small circle. As much as we think how huge it is is not. I mean, Kristen, how many friends do we have?
I know. I can't imagine. Yeah. A million.
Ladies and gentlemen, and I have to say, performing live, in case you performed on the last 2 shows live, and you guys have to check out those episodes, performing live in this studio is not easy because the air is kind of dead.
It is dark and dead.
Yeah.
I thought, you know what? I don't want them to see this and then go like, oh, God, why did we invite her to the fair?
No.
Like,
Girl, you have knocked it out. In fact, we have some behind-the-scenes video on our Instagram, but dark and dead, that could be the...
That's right.
That's a book
Volume 2.
Dark and dead.
Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, I would like to present the premiere of Manipulate with our favorite Taylor Olson.
Hey. Turn that baby up.
Suicidally beautiful like a rose, play tricks on my mind, leave me froze. In a daze, there's no smoke, thoughts racing, moving slow-mo. Hit me, baby, oh, 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 oh. Caught up in the high, twisted dreams in my eyes. Let's waste a little time, let's waste a little time. Dangerous, burn me, baby. I know I'm greedy, crazy in love. Love me crazy, crazy in love. Love me crazy, oh, hey, oh, hey. Oh, hey, oh, hey. I love how you manipulate. I love how you manipulate. Oh, hey, oh, hey. Oh, hey, oh, hey. I love how you manipulate. I love how you manipulate, yeah. Addicted to playing this wicked game. One kiss from you and you ease the pain. Shoot through me with perfect aim. On my tongue I got your name, and my ego's all to blame, all to blame. Cross my heart, tattoo my scars, build us up to fall apart. We end just to start. Oh, oh, hey. I love how you manipulate. I love how you manipulate. I love how you manipulate. I love how you manipulate, yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Play in the dark, ignore the sunrise, glow me up, steal my shine. Shouldn't want you when I'm trying to resist, but I'm lying. They say it's a big mistake, but I love how you manipulate. Oh, hey, oh, hey. I love how you manipulate. I love how you manipulate. Oh, hey, oh, hey. Oh, hey, oh, hey. I love how you manipulate. I love how you manipulate, yeah. Glow me up, steal my shine. They say it's a big mistake, but I love how you manipulate.
Woo!
I want to dance to that all night long.
Now take your shirt off.
It's half done for you.
That's how it works, right?
That's how it happens on Saturday.
Yeah, I'm just checking.
You guys, this is just some of the talent that's going to be here on Saturday on the core stage, and I'm so excited to be MC. You guys, we get to hang out, and it's a lot of fun. It's just going to be a really, really fun day. Will, congratulations on all the success out at the fair.
It's been incredible. We have a huge day planned. We have entertainment all day at the Coors, at the paddock stage. Our big thing we're doing this year is called Catch the Queen. It's like an in-app Pokemon Go scavenger hunt for 7 drag queens we've hidden around the fair.
I love that.
Yeah,
so
and you
much.
win a gift card from Chipotle for dinner for $25.
Wait.
What?
Yeah.
Wait.
You know everyone's looking
Yeah,
for that.
if you, your email gets entered, and then the next day we're gonna draw.
It's not a game for bottoms.
And I cannot wait for the hat and T-shirt. So I was just.
I want the dabbing unicorn. A little
It's only in
dab, I'll tell
kids'
ya.
clothes right now, but I know.
Was that your decision? Or was that Daniel, since he wears the kids' clothes size?
No comment.
Be a crop top. You know, just wearing
Oh, it's crop top. You got it.
Right up my alley.
All right, we have to finish the show, but we finish the show by doing rapid fire for our musical guests. So who wants to go first?
Oh wait, let me turn it live. Y'all go.
I'm scared, but go ahead.
Oh, they're not. It's not like.
I heard that.
What year was your
Questions
DUI?
seem fine.
No, it's just. It's
I don't remember.
It's silly stuff.
I feel like a war member. Okay, go ahead.
Trevor, most embarrassing song on your playlist?
On my playlist?
Trevor's bad
Is
at rapid fire.
My heart. Okay, I'm gonna wrap it. My heart will go on, but that's not that embarrassing. But I love it. Maybe it's a little
That's
embarrassing.
embarrassing.
Okay,
It is embarrassing.
That-
I'll
that
be
felt-
honest. I thought you were going to say
Love
like the
that
theme song to Bed Knobs and Broomsticks.
Oh my God, Eglantine. I love that song. Sorry.
Okay, all right.
That was her name in Bed Knobs and Broomsticks.
Yes. Oh, do you know that they're redoing it, by the way? Disney's rebooting it.
Well, they're doing that to everything.
Are
but,
we excited
but I
about
hope-
Mary Poppins though? I'm a little excited.
I'm nervous, but I'm excited.
Lin-Manuel? That's me.
You know, and she's great.
Because we know how many Latinos were in England.
It doesn't.
But it's, Julie Andrews.
Taco or scone from his taco truck.
Julie Andrews is really. I'm
hard
ignoring
to-
him right now because he's saying bad things. I agree, but I think Emily.
She's
can
great,
do
though.
It.
Yeah, she's
I think she's
terrific.
great, and I'm excited.
Well, Mary
Lin-Manuel
Poppins
is
was
Bert.
meant to be a bitch, so she's going to be great.
She is taking.
And she
as
didn't
a
she like
bitch.
blow everyone away with her like magic like when she got there? Like what was that about?
She blew all the other.
She
people
saved it from
in
Into the
line.
Woods.
Yeah.
Just like Alexander.
Yeah, she could be like.
Do you know that Dick Van Dyke plays his character? You know how he played the old man in the original Mary Poppins?
Yeah.
He plays the character's grandson in this movie. So
Oh my
Dick Van Dyke is back.
gosh.
Meryl Streep is in it too. She plays Mary's mom.
She does not.
Yeah, I swear to God, it's in my movie news Mondays on Fair World.
That's amazing. I'm
Yeah, no,
excited.
she plays Mary Poppins'
If
mom.
it's really good, we're gonna go see it together. I'm gonna be like, "See,
If it's
Alexander, I
bad, we're all
told
gonna
you."
go see it. Okay, Trevor. Dream duet. Who would it be with?
Michael Jackson's dead, but it would have been Michael Jackson.
He would have loved you, little boy.
Oh.
If you could jam
I
with
would totally have milked that. I would have gotten right into the Neverland.
That's what he would have
Ranch. I
wanted
would have headed
you for.
right to Neverland. Just saying.
Oh my gosh, Alexander is mean. I don't know what happens at the end of these shows, but it takes a turn.
Because I'm the only person that didn't get the Michael Jackson thing. I'm so sorry. I just never got it.
I had a Michael Jackson birthday party, so when I was like 9 or 10.
Yeah.
He's a creeper, but
Yeah,
man,
sans
he's
the
talented.
sans the what we don't or may not know about, but
all right,
It is what it is with his personal life, but talent.
Right.
But unless
Not in
maybe
today's
we should
Hollywood.
move on,
Yep. Okay.
Yeah,
if
not
you,
anymore.
If you could jam with a musician who has passed, who would it be?
Well, it was Michael Jackson, but
No. And I'm sorry. Let me, because you guys are all you guys are exempt because you're not performing out at the fair unless Kristen you have a tune you want to.
Donny Hathaway, Nina Simone,
I'll
all
be
that.
like the
Or is that what
Flash.
you mean?
No. I mean like jam. Like it's not going to be recorded. Like you're just boom, 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 trying new things. Yeah.
The Black Eyed Peas or something like that. I
Oh,
don't know,
that's
is
an
that-
interesting.
They're still alive.
They are what and I love all
Now they're
their
the
like
gray-haired
individual,
peas.
but they have like like their individual styles and
They-
stuff, and I love funky hip hop
I'll
music. And
I'll show you their new video because they just released one like
They
last
did?
week.
Is like Fergie in it? Because like she,
No.
I heard that, which that's kind of weird.
They
but
replaced her.
We have-
with who? Do we know?
I don't know her name.
Okay.
We have a question. we have a question from the chat room. Will there be a duet between you guys at Out at the Fair or a trio? And nothing
Now
is
there will.
planned.
Oh my
as,
God,
as,
now
as
there
it
will.
is.
If not this Saturday, at some point there should be.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yes.
All right. What is the worst fashion trend that you have fallen victim to? And you have followed a lot of fashion trends.
Oh shit! Fire,
I feel like Alexander wants to answer that for you. He's be like,
I think
girl,
I
it's
couldn't
this
pick just one.
I don't know all of them. I'm kind of embarrassed when I walk out of the house. You know what I mean? I don't know. Fashion trends. Wearing t-shirts. Yeah.
No, I think it's your furry jacket with like no shirt underneath, and you're like on a king's throne. And you're like, hey, girl.
That was a photo shoot. You get crazy in photo shoots.
That's
but
what I. You're
Okay.
terrible. At
I know. I told you. I prefaced that I
All
was
right.
going to be bad at this.
Where
I'm
can our
sorry.
viewers listen to and find you?
TrevorPageMusic.com, but also please add me to your playlists on Pandora and Spotify. We're working on the legalities of getting them to pay more, but also that is a great place to listen to my music.
Awesome. And follow his Instagram for like fantasy-filled pictures.
Instagram, I am Trevor
Your
Page.
costumes actually are really good.
Twitter, I am Trevor Page, but then just Trevor Page on the Pandora and Spotify and Rhapsody and iHeartRadio, all that stuff.
Awesome. Kasey, your biggest pet peeve when working with another musician?
Ooh. Wow. I think when they haven't rehearsed.
Good one. Yeah.
If we all come there to do a job, then be ready to do your job.
What if it's a super busy, and I'm only saying this because like my week, I have scripts for every day of event that I have. This whole week is filled. I haven't been able to look at my scripts for 2 days in advance because I just don't have the time.
Then you should not have taken that position.
Oh my God, you took the words right out of my mouth.
You took the words right out
I
of
remember.
I've looked at our script.
Okay, yeah,
I've looked at our
easy.
script for Saturday.
Yeah, that's easy.
like Hushabye Mountain, like that one.
Girl. Let's remain hush about that one. Hush, child, hush. Your favorite horror film?
Oh my God. I don't know if it's my favorite horror film, but the horror film that has stuck with me and scared the bejesus out of me since I can remember is Nosferatu.
The original.
The original, silent, black and white.
Interesting.
Creepy.
That is the
It is super
creepiest
creepy.
That
thing.
dude's creepy, yeah.
Kasey, is Bigfoot real?
I hope so.
Do you believe he's real?
I'm interacting with some of my Bigfoot friends here. So I believe that anything is possible, and I did not find him, and I find that disappointing.
Good answer. All right. Worst pickup line that somebody has said to you?
Trying to think.
Narrow it down.
I know. Which one? The worst pickup line is when they just send me a dick pic.
Yes.
And I'm like,
And we're all like, that's our best pickup
Yes.
line. Sold.
It's weird that dick pic got you awake. If you could
Kurt
also
sends them all the time.
He's like, dang it.
He's just like in a Dungeons and Dragons costume or a Harry Potter costume. He's like, this is the House of Slytherin. Okay. Sorry, Kurt. If you could jam with a musician who has passed, who would it be?
God. You know, I think it would be Elvis, just because of the icon status of it, and I could listen to him sing the phone book, and it would floor me. So I would say Elvis or collectively the Beatles, just because they were creating and making things that had never been heard before.
That's a good answer. Kasey, where can our listeners and viewers find you and listen to you?
You can find me on Facebook. You can find me on Twitter, Instagram, basically all of the socials. It's Kasey Lansdale, KaseyLansdale. You can hear my music anywhere, iTunes, Spotify, Pandora, anywhere that you hear music. And I'm going to shamelessly plug and say that my new book that just came out, you can get anywhere books are sold.
Oh, and you guys get it. Get it, because we're going to be discussing it on the 19th.
That's
and
right.
I'm so excited
Everybody
for you and your
read
dad
it.
to be here.
And then that way you can come back and ask the questions or criticize, and I'll accept either.
Oh, God, I love it.
But you have to buy it first.
Right, you have to buy it, and
Yeah,
then
you have to show
and
the
then roast
receipt
me.
that you bought it.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
You can be mean
Then you
after
can
you've
criticize.
read it.
Yeah,
That's right.
exactly.
That's right.
All right, Taylor, you're up.
All right.
Sleep with fans, yes or no?
Oh my God.
That's an easy one.
This is from email I received.
My
think you
fans are
should use
nicer.
air quotes.
because you know, they're fashion too.
Man,
Rapid.
depending on
It's a binary question.
No. Depending. Well, I don't know. I'm not single, so no.
So yes, so no.
No. Well, I mean, if I got
That's a reason.
approval.
You're
like-
under oath, just so you know.
Oh.
It's so weird.
New age
No.
relationship.
Just no.
Welcome to 2018, guys.
Oh Lord.
Okay, the worst fashion trend that you have fallen victim to, because you're very fashionable in all of your.
Crop tops.
Oh, okay, all right. Your backstage. Did you hear? I'm turning into Kasey.
Backstage.
Backstage items that you just have to have.
Oh, I'm really weird. There's a specific water that I feel is magic.
What is it?
It's the core water that has like that bright
Are
blue
you listening?
top. Yeah.
Alexander will get it.
Yeah.
It's in his rider.
It's in my rider.
Do you know what's in my rider? It looks like water, but it's not.
No, it's weird. I feel it's like now this like
it's called core water.
Core water.
It has a cute little cup on the top.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And sometimes you take
so it's for homeless people. Awesome.
Sometimes you take the top off, put some tequila in it.
Have you ever taken the top off?
Yeah, all the time.
And then put a
on
crop top
Instagram.
On yeah.
What is your worst date? I actually got this 2 different times from the same email. I think it was that person that took you on this worst date.
It was. Oh man, this is so bad that I remember it so vividly. I stupidly was on this website called Plenty of Fish in 2013, and this guy who was just like in his pictures, just the hottest human being alive, like asked me out on a date, and I was like, yeah, let's do it. And he's like, all right, I have free passes to Disneyland if you just want to go to Disneyland for the day. And
yes.
Why would you waste that on somebody you don't know, though?
But also,
do you know what you have to do to get a Disney?
You gotta
spend
exactly. You gotta spend a lot of time with somebody though. If it's like a full Disney
or
line,
now unless you lose them.
That's true. You're right.
You can like.
It gets worse.
I went on a date to
Come on.
It gets worse.
Oh.
So I showed up. Those pictures were a little old, and
he couldn't fit on the ride.
Oh my God. The pictures were like at least 5 or 6 years old, and he looked almost nothing like his pictures.
Oh my God.
And
why do people do that? You're gonna see them.
Yeah, and I was like,
did he have
did
a
you
good
leave?
personality?
no,
Did you have fun at Disney at least?
Boy, did I.
See, then it was all worth it.
I did a lot
lose
of,
him?
I proposed a lot of single rider situations.
Oh, that's good.
So
That's
I
good.
was
The
like,
Matterhorn, right?
Yeah.
Was a single rider.
Yeah, I was like Space Mountain, like
Let's go again.
Yeah.
And there's a logic to that because you actually like go through the line faster. So it's
Right.
like,
That's
you know,
why I was
there's-
doing it.
That's
I was
good.
like,
That's
get
good.
this
I can't.
going.
The
You guys-
teacups.
Yeah.
No.
You guys know how brutally honest I am. If I don't like you, there's no way I can spend more than 5 minutes with you.
Even at Disney?
Even anywhere, even at a bar.
The most magical,
the happiest place on earth.
Well, the thing was, is he even brought it up at the end of the date. He was like, "I know my pictures are a little old." I was like, "You
the
think?"
end?
What the hell?
You know what would have been great for him is to show up with flowers and say, "I know I'm not what you expected, but let's have a great day." And I'm sure
what
that
would have been
warmed
great
him.
is for him to be honest from the
done it.
beginning.
Yeah.
Nobody is.
That would
Okay,
be better.
if you could
That
jam
would
with
be
a musician who has passed, who would it be?
Kurt Cobain.
Oh, interesting. Have I told you my Courtney love story? Okay.
Watch Soaked in Bleach, by the way. That I think she did it. Just saying.
All right, we have to go, so
We
Kurt
don't
can
get
get home to his
rapid
wife
fire.
and
No,
play
we don't get
Dungeons
That's
and
some
Dragons sex
bullshit.
games.
There you go.
Where can our listeners and viewers find you?
Taylor Olson on everywhere that you get music. Instagram's Taylor O Music. Twitter is Taylor O Music. TaylorOMusic.com for like deals on my music and new merch.
And thank you so much for sharing the premiere. That was so good, you guys.
Yeah.
That was great.
Thank you for having me.
Everybody was so great today. Okay, where can our viewers and listeners find you? Telefilms, you guys, is only $4.99 a month for quality movies, short films, web series, and you guys have ongoing like web series as well.
It's true. Telefilms.com. First of all, I would like some rapid fire questions.
Okay.
Do
Top or
better,
bottom?
So much better.
Top.
Okay.
I could see that.
And what do you think is the most overrated film?
Oh God.
Rapid fire.
I know.
Harder than it looks.
I did. It is harder than, but yeah. Recently,
No, like
Solo.
I haven't seen it yet.
but that wasn't really like lauded as some big great film.
I mean, it's part of the Star Wars trilogy.
All right, what's your binge food?
Oh my God. Do you ever had Pirate's Booty? The
I'm pretty sure a lot of us in this room have.
there's a lovely like corn puff green.
Okay.
That's I can eat. I sit and I eat a whole bag. That's
Okay.
like healthy.
And what has been your worst date?
Oh, okay. So I'll tell this really quick story. It wasn't a date, but it stemmed from a date. So I was like trying to date as many people as I could.
Welcome to West Hollywood.
After a breakup. And this was in Tennessee. This was in Nashville. And I ended up like going out on like dates, and like one was great and one wasn't great. And we just sort of like we kind of both knew, and so we just stopped. And then I had a birthday party. And I invited the one person who I was like, well, we're not like together, but like, let's be friends. And she was like, can I bring a +1 to your
Let's
birthday
be
party?
friends.
And I was like, of course you can bring a +1. Like and so I had all these people come, and in walks the girl as her +1 who I was on a date with. And we we didn't ghost each other. It was just like, oh, not for me. And I just looked at her. I was like, hey.
She knew what party she was going to, by the way.
She totally knew what
Yeah,
party. I think
that's
she knew what party she was.
weird.
Anyway, and so she, like, the person who I was friends with was like, how do you guys know each other? And I was like, okay, Cupid. And she was like, oh. So the
Okay,
whole
Cupid.
party, like, I
The
had
name
to,
says it. It's like, okay.
I had to, like,
it should be called Great Cupid.
yeah, I had to like go around and like basically
Mediocre.
tell people were like, why isn't Kristen introducing
Catfish
this
Cupid.
new person who she knows? And I was like, because we went on a packed date together. It was so.
That's hilarious.
I was like, this is such a moment. Anyway.
All right, Kristen.
Those were good rapid fires. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
You can find. So I personally am Kristen Tello on Instagram, Twitter, but Facebook and Instagram and Twitter, it's Tello Films. TelloFilms.com, TELLO, like hello, but with the T. TelloFilms.com, and we're on all the socials. And just like Alexander said, we're $4.99 a month. And if you want to sign up for a year, there's a 20% discount if you use the code LWORD.
Awesome. I'm so proud of everything that you continue to do.
Thank you. Thank you.
I didn't agree to rapid fire question. I'm just kidding.
Can I ask just a few since we're on it?
Yeah,
Kurt's
yeah.
like, oh my God. Go.
Top or bottom?
No, we all know. Hello. He's like Judy Garland when he opens his mouth. As a DJ,
Yes.
one song that when somebody requests it, you're just like, shoot me now.
Ooh, can I guess? Because I have so many
there's like
DJs that say
so
this.
many. I actually got like a complaint to the bar manager at Rich's that I wouldn't play Beyonce Sorry.
That's so random.
Yeah, and it was like 12:30 at night, and that wasn't gonna happen.
If you had to go back,
So random.
Yeah, I was like, you can go home and listen to that.
if you could go back to any decade as a legendary DJ, what decade would that be?
Honestly, I love the early 2000s. I love like that type of hip hop.
Okay.
I miss those days of hip hop.
All right. The thing you're going to do Sunday, besides clean up out at the fair, so let's say Monday morning, what is it that you are going to insist that you're going to do for yourself?
Throw my phone against the wall and dive in the pool.
Dive in the pool. Y'all want to dive in the pool?
Yep.
Pepper Muche. Will, I love having you on, and Hillcrest
you.
Social has been such a big supporter of On the Rocks. So thank you very much for all that. Can't wait for Out at the Fair this whole summer, by the way.
Yeah, it's going to
be
be
a lot of
a
fun.
crazy summer.
Where do you want our viewers and listeners to follow your projects at?
You can follow us at outatthefair.com, hillcrestsocial.net. It's the same on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, etc.
Can I give a shout out to your mom, by the way?
Yeah, sure.
Carrie Z! We love Carrie Z!
She will love it.
She will love it. You guys have to thank On the Rocks wouldn't be possible, of course, with Kurt, our trusty engineer, who ends up staying late. I have a meeting at Nobu at 9 p.m.
You have
and
4
every week
minutes.
I'm like, we have to get out here on time. And Kurt's like, Of course, my mom, Mama Rose, who helps with the bookings and who helps with our talent coordination, Mama Rose, and Greg, of course, taking all of our behind-the-scenes pictures. All right, we will see you next Tuesday. Every show, I'm so happy. We just have such a great time, no matter who you are, how old you are, who you sleep with. We love you. See you next Tuesday.
Bye.
This has been On the Rocks with Alexander, every Tuesday at 7 p.m. on Universal Broadcasting Network. Find me on Facebook on The Rocks Radio Show. Tweet me or Instagram me at On The Rocks On Air. See you next Tuesday!